All right, everybody. Welcome to episode 204 of Psycho's Platters. This time I thought I'd go off in the enclosed porch. So what is Mighty Psycho going to go off and talk about today? Does this give you a hint? Yes, I'm drinking from the Graceland 2009 coffee mug from Elvis's home. I still have yet to go there, but we're going to talk about this finally. That's right, Elvis Presley's Boy from Tupelo box set. Yes. Here's the front. Here's the back. I'm going to show you here. I think the package. This package, it comes in I know you can't see it real well, but it comes in a nice slipcover case. I got to get used to these cameras. But it's a tri-fold out is what you got. Okay. It's kind of nice. It really, really is. And it folds out and goes out to that way. So that's your back. Now, like I said, this is a 3 CD set. I'm gonna run through here real quick on what we're talking about. I'll show you the book in a minute as well, okay? But like I said here, you basically have for the first disc, it's all of the Sun RCA stuff. What I want to go off, let's see here. It says Memphis Recording Service acetates My Happiness. That's when your heartaches begin. I'll never stand in your way. It wouldn't be the same without you. Harbor Lights. Sun Masters, we're out on Harbor Lights. I love you because that's all right. 45 RPM Master. Blue Moon of Kentucky, 45 Master. Blue Moon, Tomorrow Night. I'll never let you go, little darling. I don't care if the sun don't shine. Just because. Good Rockin' Tonight. Milk Cow Blues Boogie. Your Heartbreaker. I'm left, you're right, she's gone. Slow version. Baby Let's Play House. I'm left, you're right, she's gone. Regular version. I forgot to remember to forget. Mystery Train. Trying to get to you. When it rains, it pours. And then we have the RCA Masters, which are That's All Right, RCA single version. Blue Moon, Kentucky, RCA single version. 78 Master. I Love You Because, RCA LP version spliced from takes 3 and 5, and Tomorrow Night RCA LP overdubbed and slowed down. Now, I have to tell you something truthfully, okay? A lot of the Elvis fans out there are going to have this stuff. You're going to have all the stuff that pretty much came from here, mostly. But here's where I, being a fan of Elvis for over 40 years. I started getting hooked on him about 75, 76 when I was about 8, 9 years old, okay? So let's go back to that perspective. Everything kind of came out in dribs and drabs, all right? So bear with me while I tell you what I'm talking about here, okay? So, the first 5 singles on Sun came out. Sun 209, July of 54, had That's All Right with Blue Moon of Kentucky. Sun 210, September 54, Good Rockin' Tonight, I Don't Care If the Sun Don't Shine. Sun 215, December of 54, Milk Cow Blues Boogie, You're a Heartbreaker. Sun 217, April of 55, Baby Let's Play House, I'm Left, You're Right, She's Gone. And finally, the last Sun single, Sun 223, August of 55, I forgot to remember to forget, and Mystery Train came out then. That is the one that I actually found on a 78. Yeah, Mighty Psycho had a Elvis Sun for a few years actually, but due to bills and being divorced and I had to deal with things, I sold it along with a few other RCA 78s to a very nice elderly Elvis collector that enjoyed them immensely. But these 45s, though, would be re-released by the RCA starting in December of 55. Sun had to cease and desist in regards to pressing January 1st, 1956. Now, there were supposedly 2 other songs. Oh, by the way, the sources for everything today, yes, there's Wikipedia. There's also ElvisPresley.com. There's Elvis Presley News and RollingStone.com. That's where I'm getting all this stuff from. And information from here, which I will talk about briefly in a minute. Supposedly, though, also, according to source here, Satisfied was recorded September 10th of 54, and I Got a Woman, February 5th of 55, were also recorded at Sun, but those tapes are lost, supposedly permanently. It'd be really nice if they could find those eventually, right? So we're talking still 2 potentially unreleased Elvis that are lost in the ethereal. Also, that's not on this compilation, The $1 Million Quartet, which of course was the December 4th, 56 tapes at Sun Studio with Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, and even though Johnny Cash is on the cover, supposedly does not perform on this quartet tapes. So, questionable Sun songs that are not on here. This source was pulled from the Elvis Illustrated Record book by Roy Carr and Mick Farren from 1982. 3 tunes: Tennessee Saturday Night, which was recorded sometime between July 5th and July 7th of 54. According to the authors, RCA planned to include this recording in the 1965 compilation album Elvis for Everyone, but substituted Tomorrow Night at the last minute. And the other 2 songs, Uncle Pen, which was recorded September 9th of 54, supposedly, and Okie Boogie, December 8th of 54. Also, on RCA's first Elvis album, Elvis Presley, in 56, they put out I Love You Because, Just Because, Trying to Get to You, I'll Never Let You Go, Little Darlin', and Blue Moon. Elvis for Everyone in 65 had the Tomorrow Night song, which was the original Sun Master, but a overdub with Chet Atkins, and just for this release only. And When It Rains, It Really Pours, which actually was a 1957 re-recording of the 55 Sun track. After that, they pretty much put out the Sun material, starting, originally I do remember seeing this when I was 8, 9 years old, and I did buy it, if I remember correctly. Elvis Legendary Performer Volume 1. They did 4 volumes, if I remember correctly, and little bits of the Sun material would come out, on released and unreleased. And I remember getting that, though, and I thought, wow, how awesome. But let me bring up the other releases, if you may. Sun Sessions from 1976, Complete Sun Sessions in 87, King of Rock and Roll, Complete 50s Masters 1992, Sunrise 1999, and Elvis at Sun 2004. So that's where you get all of this stuff from, okay? Now, saying that, seeing on a disc 1, he was an all right ballad singer. But that's not what would make him, would it? It was him goofing off, sort of, with Scotty and Bill, and got into that groove, got into that swing. Even the people back then, you'll hear it in the live stuff on CD3. Some of the the DJs went off and they were like, "We don't know what to call this stuff." That's because nobody knew what to call this stuff. This man here, some people have gone and accused and said, hey, Elvis was a white guy with a black man's voice. You know what? I don't know about that. But did he have the spirit of that stuff? He listened to that stuff when he was a kid. He listened to gospel. He listened to the black music. He listened to the country music. He listened to all that stuff. He was a game changer. Whether or not you want to admit it or not, he was a game changer. So that's CD1. CD2 is pretty much all alternate takes. Now, I'm sorry. I'm a little underwhelmed by the alternates. I mean, it's nice to see the construction of a song. Don't get me wrong. I kind of like that. But I'm not a big fan of the CD2. Maybe it's just me. I'm not sure. The one, like I said, I liked CD1. CD2 is meh. CD3 was another one where I think it cooked. Okay, now bear with me on this. CD3 was one of the main selling points as to why I purchased this, because CD3 was all the live stuff. It was all the live stuff, basically, from October 54 to October 55 for the Louisiana Hayride. I'm not going to go through all the songs. It's just way too much. and there's some repetition anyway. But so you have Louisiana Hayride sessions from October 54 to 55, mixed with Lubbock, Texas, and Florence, Alabama from January 55, Houston, Texas from March of 55, Gladwater, Texas from April 55, and Meridian, Mississippi from May of 55, which I'm going to bring that up in a second too. Now, this stuff, though, this is not the first release of that. According to the Elvis Presley News website, May of 2016, the Memphis Recording Service label released the, quote, complete Louisiana Hayride Archives 54 to 56, limited edition 1,000 copies double vinyl LP for Record Store Day. At that time, they had recently discovered material of I Forgot to Remember to Forget and Little Mama. So those at that point were discovered recent, and then they went, and I'm going to pull a page here if you bear with me. The one song that is new to the compilation, here's a picture, by the way. It says here it's about the Meridian recording, and this is a nice 120-page book that comes with this. It says, country music disc jockey and promoter Smokey Smith traveled to Meridian, Mississippi in 55 to attend the 3rd annual Jimmy Rogers Memorial Celebration. While he was there, he learned that CBS Radio had arranged to broadcast a 30-minute portion of the concert at Junior College Stadium on May 26th. So, Smith calls his radio station KRNT in Des Moines, Iowa, which happened to also be a CBS affiliate, to have an engineer record the broadcast directly to a Scotch quarter-inch reel-to-reel. And that recording remained safely in Smith's possession for nearly 50 years. And that's how you end up with the version of That's All Right from the Meridian, Mississippi show. Now, the Sun tapes here, it says here, I'm going to mention this here. When RCA acquired Elvis's contract, they bought all the recordings Sam had made with Elvis. However, when Sam handed over the 15 or 16 tapes to RCA, it was obvious that they didn't represent all the sessions Sam had recorded on Elvis. Sam had sometimes reused session reels for other sessions if he thought nothing worth preserving was on the tapes. This was the case with one of the tapes from the session that produced the master of I Don't Care If the Sun Don't Shine. The master was later recovered by John and Shelby Singleton on one of the tapes they received when they bought Sun from Sam Phillips. The recording only survived because the session that was recorded over the original Elvis session didn't last as long as the Elvis session. What is a bit more surprising is that RCA never got the masters to the above title, Blue Moon in Kentucky, You're a Heartbreaker, and Milk Cow Blues Boogie. When re-released by RCA, the company used Sun Records to dub from. As Scholes prepared the re-release of the Sun singles in the first LP, he made new compilation tapes of all the tracks he wanted to use, adjusting the sound as he saw fit. In 1959, RCA cleaned up the vaults in Indianapolis and in the process dumped the majority of the Sun tapes. Apart from the production master for the single, I Forgot to Remember to Forget and Mystery Train, RCA has no masters, and only a handful of tapes from the original transaction survived. Tape 5 or 6, 8, 11, 13, and 15. So, you know what? We're blessed to have this stuff, seriously. CD1, CD3, awesome. They cook. CD2, meh. Is this worth buying? Yes, because you're going to finally get, to everyone's knowledge, everything all in one source. That's the reason why I bought this. Now, Barnes & Noble and deepdiscount.com have got this as the cheapest. I'm a Barnes & Noble member. I only spent $26 for this. It originally listed for $39. So, you know what? I at least give it a 1.5 thumbs up on this because of the fact that all of it's cohesively together, to our knowledge, unless they come up with more things. But this is going to be the only time I'm buying this material, honestly. After that, I'll just copy it. That's all I'm going to do for it. So that's it, kids. Like I said, I recommend it. If you don't have the 50s material in one source, buy this thing. It is well worth it. Until next time, guys from Psycho Splatters, take care, God bless, and rock on, and thank you very much.